There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonkō Table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonkō Table, the table that will make their dreams come true. Yo, everyone. The Yonkō Table has set sail yet again. That's the voice of your Yonkō host, DrJaceAttorney, and you've all been waiting for it for quite some time. I know we've been building up to it since Alabasta, since East Blue, since Arlong. We're finally here. Our One Piece Chronicles has finally reached the arc that we all want to talk about. That's right, folks. This week, we are talking about none other than Foxy Pirates, or better known as a fellow Yonko would say, the official name is called Long Ring, Long Land Arc. Who the hell wants to say that? No one does. It's the Foxy Pirates Arc, or the Davy Back Arc, whatever you want to call it. And we got a lot to say. You might not think there's not enough to talk about with the Foxy Pirate Arc, but we're here to deep dive in. We're going to really dig into what makes this arc one of the ones that people sleep on a lot. For some of us in this group right now, this was our first time experiencing the Foxy Pirates arc, because apparently some people skip arcs in One Piece. This is interesting. I didn't think people did that. But anyways, fellow Yonko GrandMasterHoop, Grandmaster, do you skip arcs?
I didn't skip this arc. It was in that weird kind of blank period where 4 kids dropped One Piece, and then when subs started trickling their way into the US as far as YouTube is concerned, Water 7 and Enos Lobby was going on, so a lot of people kind of picked it up from there and didn't look back. I was one of them. So yes, you skipped this You
arc.
can't call it a skip, because a skip is like purposely knowing that you're missing something. I had no idea I was missing something.
You always thought this was filler.
No, I didn't know it existed. Think about it like that. All the way back then, when the internet is not as knowledgeable as it is, I didn't know. And if I wasn't reading it, I didn't know. So yeah, had no idea. I'll tell you what, the only knowledge of this I had was in One Piece Grand Battle. They could not use the Davy Back game mini games because 4 kids had not gotten that far, so they turned it into like the Usopp pirate games.
I see. I didn't even know the Grand Battle game went that far into the series.
You can unlock images in the game that show the Davy Back fight, and you're like, well, what is this?
4 kids has not they have not blessed us with their interpretation of Davy Back, unfortunately.
So yeah, to me that almost was like, it was like looking at fan art. I had no idea of its existence, any significance or anything. So I can't say I skipped, because skipped is with intention.
That is okay, because now we're all here together. We're here to discuss Long Ring, I am not calling it that. I'm sorry. The Davy Back Arc. We're here to discuss the Davy Back Arc. And with us to help with the deep dive are fellow admirals and supernovas alike. And let's get into it. So, did anyone else skip, in quotation marks, this arc of One Piece? Or did it just fly over your head? Like, or did you think it was filler maybe? Did some of you watch One Piece and when you got to this part, you're like, this clearly has to be filler?
I can go first. No, as a real fan, I did not unknowingly skip any arc. But no, I just read it literally right now. As even when we were joining before this meeting started, I was reading it, and I love this arc. It's actually way funnier than I remember it being.
Oh, you actually liked it?
Yeah, like I literally just finished it right now. I just got to the train station. So for me, it's one of those things where I understand when it first came out why people might have hated it. but it was a nice filler arc that does not deserve to be skipped by people. Plus, we never know. It might contain some good information in the future.
It's every arc is mid until it isn't at some point in the future.
I just like to point out, anime-wise, they've extended the arc and made it filler. There are some filler moments in there. Yes.
Like what? They added more games or something?
Yes, correct.
Oh.
And we'll get into it. So
that's cool.
Okay.
Yes, there's big differences.
Well, I mean, what this immediately follows from where we left off last week, right? With Skypiea.
Yes.
The Straw Hats coming in straight from the White Sea, or is it the White Sea? Which is the one like
they
right
come
below?
from the sky. Don't worry about the technical.
It's the White Sea. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about
the
the
White Sea. Perfect. We got the name right. Anyways, they're coming off from Skypiea. They land in the ocean, and the merry-go is on its way, and they come across Long Ring, Long Land. I don't know if any fans out there actually call it by this. Apparently, it's the official name of this arc, but it's the Davy Back arc. That's what it is.
Well, even if you don't call the arc that, that's the island they're on.
Right. They get to an island, and it's a weird island where everything is long and tall. You even say things long. You drag it out.
This arc is probably one of the funniest gag arcs of all of One Piece.
Thank you.
Off rip, the island is one of the most stupid islands I've ever heard of. The whole long thing is ridiculous. But then once you get into like the actual context of like how each island is connected, it's get out of hand. We'll get there. But like, yeah, the start, everything's long.
I mean, everything is the wildlife, the trees, the actual land itself. It's basically what a prairie. It's like a long stretch of land as far as the eye can see. And what the gang disembark. I think it's only what is it? Luffy, Usopp,
and Chopper.
Well, they decide off rip, like, I think they have all that money, and I think before they even land, they're like, let's go find a carpenter.
Right. That's the goal from here. They just
they
didn't
want
see
to. I think they want to fix the merry-go. They're like, yeah, the merry-go's been through it. Like, let's get a carpenter and fix this bad boy.
Right, exactly. And you know, those moments were being alluded to even in the previous arc of Skypiea, because I feel like the merry-go went through the ringer, especially in Skypiea. That thing was getting destroyed, dismantled. It was just getting ripped apart. So, you know, Oda kept, you know, hinting at in the last arc that, hey, we're probably going to need to fix this thing. But now the Straw Hats have the money to actually go about with that goal. They found enough gold on Skypiea. They probably could have left with a lot more had they not ran away from the inhabitants when they were going to offer that giant pillar of gold from the bell tower. But whatever, 200 million it's 300 million berries, right? They got 300 million.
You don't learn that until Water 7.
Oh, you don't learn that? Oh, because they go to exchange the
yes,
currency.
They exchange it, yes.
Well, they have a lot of gold. They got a lot. And they know they want a carpenter. They know they want a shipwright to fix the merry-go. And they go, so who is it? Luffy, Usopp, Chopper, they disembark from the merry-go. They find this hut that seems to be empty. They have no idea what's going on there, but they know at least someone lives on the island. And what is it? They're walking by like what they think is a tree, and the tree like moves and like bumps into them.
Yeah, the tree start running away.
The tree it hits Luffy, and then we're like, whoa, what's this tree's problem? What the hell? So he breaks the tree, he punches it or kicks it, whatever, and then down comes falling a man, an old man, Tanjit, right? Tanjit's his name. And it's kind of funny how they spin this. At first, they didn't even know that this man fell from the sky. They thought he was a spirit coming out of the tree. I forget what the word was. Like, there was like an official word for the type of spirit that came out of the tree. Like, you know, you break the object and out comes whatever, like I guess an old man spirit. But The old man, he seems fine at first. He's very hospitable. This part was really stupid, but he was the person that lived in the home. And he's like, come on, come in. I would like to treat you guys because I've been trapped up there for 10 years. 10 years! That is so dumb.
He says it with the straightest, most normal thing in the world's face.
There's no urgency in anything that's going on in this arc. He's been up there for a decade. And he's like, yeah, I've been up there for 10 years. Yeah. But hey, I remember where my home
makes
is.
No sense.
Makes no sense. And they ask him those questions too. They're like, what did you eat? And he's saying things like, there was, trees up in the sky where I was. So I just grabbed the fruit that was in the trees and I ate that. And it's funny because the reason why he was stuck up there was because he was so afraid to come back down. Kind of like a cat stuck in a tree. Cat's brave going up, but then once they see the drop, they're like, oh no, I'm not going back down. What's funny about this too, I don't think the characters ask them this, but in the manga volumes, Oda has these question corners where what exactly are they called? They're called like SBS corners or something.
Yeah, SBS. I can't remember what it stands for.
Yeah, it's well, they're basically questions that Oda answers because fans will send him fan mail and they'll ask him random questions about previous arcs. So this is kind of jumping the gun a little bit, but it's related to this arc. Later in Water 7, people had questions about Tanjit. And they said, Oda, if he was stuck up there for 10 years, how did he go to the bathroom? Like, what did he do? And I think Oda, without outright saying it, he just said Tanjit just pissed and shit himself. He basically said that. He said, it just dripped down from his...
Wait, is that in the physical copy of the manga?
Physical copies, right.
Oh, okay, I've never knew that.
Right. I don't know if the digital releases of the manga, like the official ones, have it. I'm assuming they do. Okay. But they're just little silly question things that Oda answers. And that was one of them. Hilarious. How did Tanjit go to the bathroom?
He just went.
Grandmaster, were you a fan of Tanjit? A good, powerful character in this arc? Why are you shaking?
Powerful character? Why? How is he powerful?
10 years is a long time. He still has a prime attitude. He's not upset. He's not annoyed.
I was definitely like on my phone the whole time this arc was going on. I was not engaged.
So you were not paying attention?
No, I was paying attention. Toasty, don't you start, because you admitted plenty times when you've been on your phone watching Miss Marvel, being like, I'm not paying attention. So
touche.
I got nothing. He's an old man. The thing with the horse is probably the only compelling thing.
Give her respect. It's Shelly.
Yeah. And then
or Sherry, whichever.
The ending of the arc too with the old man, I guess. I'm sorry. It's
disappointing.
It's a nice little let's just relax kind of arc, but
were you not sad that Sherry, she stayed behind? Because
Shelly, you literally just said her name.
Well, it's interchangeable. They call it Shelly and or Sherry.
Who says Sherry?
The L and the R.
Oh, in the manga?
In the manga, yeah.
Oh, this is terrible.
Shelly and
Sherry.
Did you miss that how we the name of the animals on this island?
How he drags it out?
Well, yeah, he says, it's not a duck, it's a duh.
Grandmaster, how are you not laughing at this?
It's fine, but...
Just fine?
It's hilarious. Come on.
It's so funny.
Listen, this is one of the silliest
And I think
arcs.
Usopp's like, you just stretched out the word.
Even the dumb characters were getting pissed at this guy.
That's fine. It's there.
Oh, my favorite part is when he's like, I have some milk that I would like to offer you guys. And he digs in the milk and he's like, well, I don't have any milk, but I got some cheese.
Yes.
Some rotten cheese.
He didn't even look at them when he offered it. He couldn't look them in the eye. Grandmaster, I cannot believe you. You are ridiculous. You are ridiculous.
was not really paying attention. I promise.
Clearly, you were, because you would be laughing.
Yeah.
I mean, in context, it sounds funnier to read, but watching, it just was not really engaging.
Come on, he wanted to give them milk, but he was up there so long it turned into cheese. That's hilarious.
It's like blue cheese.
It's funny.
Cheese.
It's funny, but I don't know. My expectations coming in were low, and I didn't bother to try to actually change them.
Did you at least pay attention to where his clan was or his nomad group went?
Didn't they just go to another island?
No, they're on the island. They're still on the island. Oh my god!
How the island works?
I wasn't paying attention.
Wait. You don't know how the island works?
I don't know. I was not paying attention.
Toasty, please educate him. Educate him.
Practically, the islands where he's standing right now is the high point of the island, and the lowest point gets flooded for every 10 years, right? It's flooded for 10 years.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's some mess like this where the ocean level rises, so it floods the lowlands, creating multiple islands. Think of France. You know how there's the Mont... It's like a castle in France where in the low tides, you can walk to the castle, but in the high tide, you have to take a boat.
Sure.
I can't remember the name of that place, but I can send you guys a picture later.
I don't know the name, but I know the castle you're talking about.
Yeah, you know the castle. It's practically a town.
Yeah.
It's practically this. So while this idiot was up there, his group move on to the next island. And they keep moving from islands to island because they graze on every island, so they give it time to regrow.
But it's still the same island.
It's still the same island.
Yes,
but
you can't get to it because of the tide.
Yeah, the tides rose up. So technically he's right there next to them, but it's going to take like 70 years for them to make the entire circle because there's 10 islands or something like that.
That's insane. The
so
amount of
he
time
got
it takes.
stuck up there
looking
for
out
10 years, and all the villagers left without him while he was up in the air.
They didn't know he was gone. They're like,
he was an idiot.
Tonja is missing, and they were talking to the horse. They're like, Shelly, Tonja's missing. Do you want to come with us?
Then the horse stayed.
The horse stayed. You weren't sat. I cannot believe you were not even moved to tears, Grandmaster. The horse stayed behind just for Tonja. Do you know how long 10 years is?
Yes. Yes, I know how long 10 years is.
The loyal horse.
That's a loyal horse.
I got the name of the place. It's called Mont Saint Michel or Mont Saint Michael in French. But
the castle.
Yeah, beautiful place.
Nice. That's essentially how the island works. They're nomads that go from the patches of land that are being able to traverse when the tide is low, and like Toasty said, but in the middle of all this, as they're becoming acquainted with this new character, a new ship arrives and locks in the Straw Hat so they can't escape. I think they shoot out its paws from the ship. It's like little foxy little paws, so they can't leave. And it's none other than the Foxy Pirates. Ooh, damn! The Foxy Pirates make their debut in One Piece, and they basically educate the Straw Hats, telling them that, hey, we challenge you to the Davy Back Games, but in order to accept this challenge, both captains need to fire off shots into the air to show their acceptance. And at that point, it kind of progresses to one of the pirates shooting the horse, and that pisses off Usopp, Nami, and Chopper. They get upset by that. Luffy wants to knock this guy out for harming the horse and getting the old man upset. And we get Foxy the Silver Foxu. Were you not impressed by the design of Foxy the Silver Fox, Grandmaster?
Wouldn't you agree he's a top 3 villain all time in One Piece?
Me? No.
What?
Why?
How would you know? You didn't pay attention.
I paid more attention to this part, but Split Head, as they call him,
they called him Pinhead in the manga. They called him Split Head in the anime.
Yeah, because his hair splits.
His hair splits, right?
Yeah, I mean he's definitely not a top 3 villain. No.
All right, let me see if I can convince you. one of the greatest gags of all time, and I don't know if any other villain comes close. Whenever Foxy gets made fun of, he gets mad depressed and gets down in this stance. If you look at my screen,
he's hunched over.
And not only that, one of his crew members laughs at him. It's like second in command laughs at him.
Hamburg! He laughs at him. He
laughs at his own captain.
Well, half of them are not originally part of his crew, so you know, their true loyalties come through when they laugh at him.
It's a fantastic gag.
It is a gag. I will say that. It's very interesting that Oda introduces a character like this late into One Piece. I could see people maybe appreciating this villain more if it was early on in One Piece when it was more lighthearted. You know, you have your Captain Kuro, Captain Morgan, Silly Alvida, Buggy the Clown. Like, you know, you had characters like this running around early on in One Piece. So having Foxy in the beginning, maybe people would not have minded it so much. But coming after Alabasta and Skypiea, we're now getting a pirate that is somehow on the Grand Line worth 23 million berries. How does that work? This man is surviving. He's surviving on the Grand Line. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. And he has a big ass ship.
Is it though? Is it that insane? I mean, I think we'll get to why it's not insane.
Well, right. There is a strategy.
He took a bite of slow.
Ooh.
Slow. I mean, he knows how to. We're gonna get there, but he knows how to. I think you guys were speaking about this in previous episodes. Like, it's not the devil fruit; it's the devil fruit user. Say what you want about Foxy, he knows how to use his devil fruit to get what he wants.
Damn right.
And for whatever reason, he wants a big crew. So
he does. He wants a whole army. Do you agree, Grandmaster?
I guess.
Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. I cannot believe this. Anyways, Foxy basically tricks the Straw Hats into starting off the Foxy Games, the Davy Back Games. And it's a very interesting synopsis for a festival of games. Essentially what it is, it's 3 main games that 2 pirate crews face off against each other in. And the stakes in the game are your pirate crew. So you're not losing gold, you're not losing your life. You're losing what makes you a crew. So if you have a small crew of pirates and you have one person that's the doctor, you could lose your doctor, which it happens here, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
So let me ask, in the manga, did they run into that froggy pirate crew?
Froggy?
Like a ship that had a frog, like
yes,
on its
did.
mast?
A crew. That's a good shout. It's there's a crew before they arrive on Long Land, whatever.
Right.
That seems like discombobulated, out of sorts.
They're depressed.
Yeah, you're right.
Like they're missing a couple of key crew members, and then like a big wave comes, and I think like takes them out.
Just
it crashes their
them.
ship.
Yeah,
right.
I think they were like down a navigator or something.
Yeah,
and
they said we didn't know where to go because we didn't have a navigator.
They had no captain, no navigator. I think they lost their doctor too. They didn't have a doctor.
Yeah, and I don't think they had a cook either. Right, they were just.
And they seemed really depressed, like they had just lost some people they had been traveling with. So.
Exactly.
Ha! I pay attention.
Oh wow, the beginning of the arc.
Wow, you forgot to mention it in the beginning.
Ooh. Anyways, right, so the stakes are crew members, and that's very interesting because at first you would think someone like Luffy is not gonna put his crewmates up on the chopping block for a game like this. He doesn't want to lose his friends. No, all the main power hitters are all in. They're like, hell yeah, let's play. Just don't lose. Easy. Let's do it. And the first game they do is like a race, a boat race?
The first game's a race. They choose beforehand about who's going to participate in what. And so it goes Robin, Usopp, and Nami
For game one.
Are in game one.
Right.
And yeah, it's a race around. And they do really well.
Right.
Even though the crews are interfering or the Foxy Pirates are interfering.
Yeah.
Right.
They cheat in every game.
And it's funny because like there's no rule against cheating, so they think it's just a by the book, regular race. And it's funny because Usopp even points that out. He's like, because they're sailing along the edge of the island for the race, and so the announcer, I like how it's like an actual festival. Like they put up tents and like stands for food and everything, and they even have their own like ringman announcer up in the sky. He's like that oh god, that toad floating in the cloud in those Mario Kart games, the one that flies around. And, like,
the one that
everything.
picks you up if you fall.
Lakitu. Yes, that's what he reminded me of, except the cloud, he's on a bird instead.
Yeah, he's giving a play-by-play the whole time.
Right, exactly. And at first he gives everyone a log pose that points to Long Ring Longland. And at first Nami's confused because she's like, wait, why do we need a log pose? Just stay close to the coast. Like, how are we gonna get lost? Usopp, being the genius, is like, Nami, we don't want to be anywhere near the coast as soon as the race starts. As a matter of fact, we want to get away from the coast. And she's like, why is that? As soon as that buzzer goes off, Foxy Pirates, boom, 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 starts firing on all cylinders. They start using guns, cannons, explosions. It's hilarious. They're cheaters. They cheat. But is it cheating if it's a Pirates game?
No, it's not. They just didn't know the rules. Quite simple as that.
Well, the thing is, they overcome it all. They're still going to win. They beat the cheating. They each use their ingenuity to come up with ways around stuff. I think Nami uses her knowledge of, like whirlpools. They get into an area with whirlpools, I think, or something.
Right.
Usopp does something, Robin does something, and they're about to cross the finish line. And then the dastardly Foxy, the silver fox, makes his move. He uses the slow fruit to slow them down right before they're going to win. And then the other Foxy Pirates win.
That's a hell of a reveal. It's a big reveal. Grandmaster, were you at least paying attention in that scene?
For the most part, but I would like to point out the differences within the anime. So everyone participates in the race, but they're separated into teams. So the team you just said is the same. So pretty much whatever differences are just played for laughs. So it's like Chopper and Zoro are a team, and then Luffy and Sanji are a team, I think.
For the race?
For the race, right. And then Nami, Usopp, and Robin, like y'all just said, are a team. And were they allowed to build their ship, right? They're supposed to make. They
gave them barrels and like little like knickknacks to build a ship together.
Okay.
Usopp's ingenuity, he was able to put together some raft, whatever you want to call it. And then the Foxy team, which is I don't know who the main girl is on the Foxy
Porsche, right?
Porsche, right?
Yeah.
There was a fishman on the team, and there was a shark.
And they're both considered fishmen technically.
Yeah.
Was the shark a fishman?
Oh no, it's an actual shark. Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a fishman and an actual sea animal. Capote.
So Luffy builds a raft, and it's the dumbest looking raft ever. That's the gag. So it's funny, it's entertaining, but yeah, the beats that y'all mentioned in the manga happen. Everything else is just played for laughs. And I forget what happens. I think Chopper falls in the water, forgetting he can't swim or something.
He just dives in.
And so it's a bunch of his gags, but I still didn't really pay the utmost
What was the
attention.
anime doing at this time? Was the anime like, all right, Oda's on Water 7, he's hitting his stride, he's giving us the goods. Let's slow down the anime so we don't have to add filler to this like incredible arc.
Well, probably
Water 7.
because after Skypiea, there was a whole filler arc about them landing in a naval base. And so they were on a filler streak. So it
Was
looks
that
like
the
they
G9
just
base?
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I heard about this.
G8. I think it's
It
called
was
G8.
That
I remember
happened at
hearing
this
about this
point.
back in the
That
day.
happened right before this arc. So
I
they were
heard good
on
things about that art.
They're on a filler streak. So
Okay.
This is like the
Continue.
era of fillers. Like this eventually died out, right? Like this is
Right.
not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
no,
One-
there's still some filler sprinkled throughout, especially in the new world as well.
Like
Between-
whole arcs.
Really?
Yes, there are some.
You
There's a
think so?
whole arc before they go to like they're with Law. Yeah, there's like a whole filler arc before they get to Dressrosa.
Wait, Dressrosa was like 8 years ago.
I understand, but what I'm saying is there are filler. They start.
I'm saying in the
sprinkling
last
filler.
8 years, I feel like filler has fallen.
I don't
off.
know. I don't know about anime wise because Whole Cake and Dressrosa and Wano have been going on more than 2+ years. Like I think
Yeah.
Whole Cake took 3 years to finish, and Dressrosa took 3 years, and Wano's still currently going on. So they couldn't do filler, at that point.
Yeah, I just felt like in the world of anime, this was a filler heavy time for a lot of the big animes.
Yeah,
Like,
this is filler heavy time. Naruto was probably
Right.
on doing their fillers between this and Shippuden, I would say.
I'm thinking Bleach got like the vampire arc around this time.
Oh. Was that the Bount
The
one?
Bount.
Bount.
The Bount.
Oh, disgusting. Ew.
Not
So
great.
yeah, I mean, they just added 2 more events to the 3, and then most of it's just played for gags
That's so much more.
Okay.
Because
That
the
is
3
a
events are
lot more.
perfect.
Right.
because it's
right.
only 13 episodes. It's short. It's not like it overstayed.
Because they lose this event and then they lose Chopper.
Yes, so that happens. That plot beat is the same.
Chopper
And-
gets scooped and Chopper is bawling his eyes out.
And see, and
I like this moment.
I like this moment too because
Oh, this moment's so good. Because
It
he's
is.
bawling his eyes out and who comes through,
well,
tell him to toughen up.
he's not only crying though.
Quit
he's
crying, you
over here
baby.
saying- he's also saying, I'll be the worst crew member. I'm not going to participate. And he's like, I set out to sea with you, Luffy. I set out to be a straw hat. Not anybody else's crew. I won't do it. And then take it away. Who
Well,
comes? in?
Zoro tells him to like, yo, suck it up. And like his snot comes all the way back up and he like it's on a face and he like sits there.
Everyone's shocked.
And
He
I
toughened
don't even
up.
know. Zoro and Chopper's relationship. I don't know when it really kind of like kicks off, but like this was definitely feels like a good moment for that.
Oh, it definitely started in Skypiea when they're walking through the forest and then he sees Chopper get beat by
Ohm.
Ohm. Yeah, that's where it kind of started. And then here it's like toughen up, man. This is what you signed on as a pirate, You don't get to pick and choose what it is to be a pirate, Take pride in yourself and go join the crew and whatnot. So like basically telling you gotta own up to live with what you made your own bed. There it is.
Right.
So,
You made your own bed. Because I think Chopper opened it up with, I only came out to sea because you invited me.
yes.
And Zoro's like, oh, no, it's not because we invited you. You made your own decision. You big baby.
Right.
And Chopper toughens up. I feel like I really like this moment even outside of this arc because I feel like you really start to see what Zoro's role is. And even the other Straw Hats too. You start to see Zoro's role outside of what his, I guess his shtick is, right? Like his role in the crew. So yeah, Zoro's a swordsman,
Are you
but
saying like he's a motivator or something like that?
I think it puts things
I'm-
in perspective.
right. I feel like he's the stern father of the group
Oh.
where people can be emotional and upset about something, and he's the one that kind of tries to bring it back into reality. You see it a lot in Water 7.
You do,
especially
see it
in
a lot.
Water 7.
Yeah.
I feel like you definitely see a glimmer of it here with Chopper when he, like what we said, he told Chopper, stop crying. You made your own bed, deal with it.
And Chopper understands too, because he takes this pose and he's like, I forget what they said, and he's like, so he says something stupid like, I'm mad, I'm bad now. Like he starts playing the role as a Foxy Pirate.
Oh, he starts playing the role of Foxy Pirate.
Yes, that's why he's making this face. He's not mad at like them for not taking him back. He's like, fine, I'm here. I'm gonna play the role.
That's an anime thing then. He didn't do it in the manga.
Oh, he doesn't do this?
No, in the manga they show the
toughens
face,
up.
but they don't zoom in. Yeah.
He toughens up. He sniffs back his snot back into his nose, and he crosses his arms, and he's more like, I'm not gonna cry anymore. I'm tough. But so, he didn't go into like, I'm the Foxy Pirates.
Yeah, he says like a couple of one word, like the Foxy Pirates will say something to him and he'll be like, I'm bad, something stupid like that.
Wow.
But of course, we'll get there. It changes later on with the events of the games, but it's funny.
Of course.
When he did that, did he cheer for the Foxy Pirates during the game or no?
I think he was like making this face the whole time, but it would go into his head.
Oh, he's freaking out?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Still screaming.
Right.
And honestly,
but he's not going to show it. He's not going to show it. And I feel the stress for someone like Chopper, especially going into the next game, because the next game, it kind of ties back into the rules that we had beforehand, where they said you have to pick your teams before the game start, and you cannot change your teams once you pick them. So the Foxy Pirates, thinking ahead of the game, they yoink Chopper out of the Straw Hats, and because of that, he was originally picked for the second game with Sanji and Zoro. But now that they plucked him out, now it's just Sanji and Zoro versus 3 other Foxy Pirates. So it's a 2v3 when it should have been a 3v3. And we all know Zoro and Sanji, their relationship. These guys cannot get along.
It's Mosshead and Dart Boy.
Dart Brow.
Dart Brow. Someone had to ask him that.
It's like Dart Brow.
I don't think it's that clean. I think it's Dart Boy because somebody had to ask, why is it darts? And Oda had to explain in an SBS. Right. So it was just like, it's about his eyebrows. I don't know. Maybe they made that more clear in the anime.
Yeah, no, in the anime, they definitely he calls him Cook, Dart Brow, one other thing with the eyebrows. I can't remember.
Either way, yeah,
obviously.
Great.
This is where I think this is where the rivalry first starts.
Really?
The rivalry starts here?
Like where they're actually butting heads and like you can easily see. Tell me where they first start arguing.
They've argued throughout all of
I feel like they argued the entire time.
No, this is like the first.
Not where it conflicts with their goals and what they're trying to accomplish, but these guys have butted. No, I'm literally saying
calling you out.
They've never butted each other's heads to where it conflicted with the goal that they're trying to accomplish. But they've butted heads before this. There's a rivalry. How can you say there's not a rivalry?
I'm telling you right now, this arc is significant because it solidifies this. This is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be Mosshead versus Dart Brow, and this is it.
I agree with Grandmaster, unless you can prove it otherwise.
Go ahead, Toasty. Explain Grandmaster's point. I want you to explain it.
I'd rather let him do it.
Exactly. Enough.
I'm just saying this is where it is first really emphasized that
I can agree with that, where it's like it's getting in the way.
But I'm telling you,
trying to do something.
In all the previous arcs up until this point, they are not like calling each other Mosshead and all that. I'm telling you.
They've never called each other names before this arc.
I've been rewatching, and it's like they're very short-worded with each other, but they're not like actively trying to piss each other off.
No joke, Grandmaster does have a point. Now that I think about it, in the previous arc, whenever they were paired up together, they would give each other one-liner like, don't mess up, yeah, whatever. But they never name call each other until this arc.
Yes.
It's one of those things.
I'm like finding things online that kind of go against what Grandmaster is saying.
I see. Interesting.
There's some like bickering in Little Garden. There's some like bickering in Arlong Park. There's some
when they
bickering.
bicker, did they call each other out like by
In
names, or
Arlong
did
Park,
they just
that's
say...
when they first met.
The point of them bickering, they don't like each other.
I'm saying
they
everything up until this has been lukewarm, and then it comes to a head.
Maybe.
I suppose. Like,
I will say this.
I'm telling you, I've been rewatching this.
Apparently, I haven't been paying attention in this arc.
All right. I'll say this. You were speaking earlier about how this arc, how Water 7 saga in general establishes like, is it Zolo or is it Zoro?
It's still Zoro.
It's Zoro. But I thought Viz changed it to Zolo, right?
I can never remember.
You can
yes, I think if you read the manga, it's Zolo, isn't it?
They call him Zolo in the
but
Viz
again, that's
translated
just
manga. They call him Zolo.
Yeah. But that's again that is simply just the RL debacle.
Right.
Okay. So, anyways, I think Water 7 and Ilislavi established like, I think it does the best job of like giving crew members like a time in the sun, kind of establishing their roles, establishing more relationships. And that's why I think this saga really sings. And I think we're going to get into that more, especially next week. And I think, in terms of like, maybe this is like the best point that establishes them butting heads. Because I think overall, like, just like pound for pound, this arc just gives you the Straw Hats, like, I don't know, in such different scenarios that really make them shine. And I don't know, it's not Zolo alone. You get a lot of good Sanji, you get a lot of good Usopp, you get a lot of good Nami in this arc. Obviously, Robin and Frankie. You get a lot of good Straw Hats in this arc.
You're talking about Water 7, right?
Relationships. And yeah, and the saga overall.
Oh, okay, got it.
Starting here. Because we all know this is the beginning of the Water 7 saga.
Do you agree with that, Grandmaster? This is part 1 of Water 7?
What?
According to
we already established it's part of the Water 7 arc. Sure.
We didn't establish
you agree.
Saga. It's part of the Water 7 saga, sure.
I see.
But really, only 1/3 of what happens in this arc is relevant to the rest of the story.
It establishes the importance of holding on to your crew members.
Yes,
Don't you see what's happening?
Okay.
Yeah.
In these smaller arcs where not much is going on at all, you get to spend time with the characters and you get to develop them, without their backs being against the wall. How are they in a relatively normal setting, and this is where you get Chopper feeling like, this was his invitation to come out to sea versus, this was his actual choice. And this is where you get Sanji and Zoro being like, kind of like the mutual respect, but I hate you,
But you're also getting the first kind of like hints of how far Luffy and the Straw Hats will go to keep their crew whole. Like,
yes,
how far they're willing to travel, who they're willing to take on, and whose flag, dare I say, they're willing to burn and destroy.
You are getting ahead. See how you want to talk about Water 7? Finish the Davy Back fight. Finish the Davy
He's
Back
talking about
fight.
the flag.
Don't you know what happens at the end of the Davy Back fight? What they choose to do at the end of the Davy Back fight?
I don't think he remembers. He didn't read.
Well, we'll get there. I think
and he didn't pay attention.
No, I definitely paid attention to the end because
something big happened.
Yeah, something big happens in the end, but can we get there?
Well, I think we diverted from Sanji and Zoro butting heads. We didn't even talk about what the second game is.
It's the game. The groggy ring. Is that what they call it?
I think they call it the groggy ring ball fight. Groggy ring ball.
Groggy ring ball. What?
Something
the
like
balls
that.
on their head, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go over
So
what this game about. Is they have a ball on their head.
It's basketball, right?
Balls, but a ball's on their head, and so you
gotta
need to
basically kick the opponent.
Yeah, they have to throw
ring?
the opponent into like a ring that's on the floor. So the opponent has to fall into like a specific ring on the floor. But the Foxy Pirates were kind of genius because they chose a giant as the person to hold their ball. So it would have been difficult.
Massive people.
Yeah. So it would have been difficult for any regular person to push these people into the ring.
And so yeah, it's pretty much just a showcase to show Sanji and Zoro butting heads and then eventually teaming up and coming together to knock out these gigantic guys. And they eventually do come together. And I think it's a pretty, it's not going to be up there in terms of like the best fight scenes or anything like that, but
no, it was the worst.
It's pretty entertaining.
Come on, out of the 3 fights, it was the worst fight. I was reading it and I was bored. Like,
I thought you know what? I think it drags a little, but I thought it was a pretty entertaining back and forth.
It's funny to see Zoro do his moves with no swords.
Oh yeah, he did a swordless attack. Yeah, and there was like even a dragon shadow.
He said no sword style.
Yes.
Did someone say no sword style?
Yeah, he was doing a bunch of no sword styles.
That was cool.
It was funny.
We forgot the referee was cheating because every time the other team was cheating.
That's right.
The referee kept looking the other way. I didn't see anything.
He'd start whistling.
The announcer, he would be like, but what's this? The referee just happens to be doing his stretches at the same time. That's gotta be way.
What happens is Nami beat him up?
Nami does a couple things.
She stole the red and yellow card and his whistle from him.
Yeah.
Right. Later, Sanji kicked one of the giants into him because he had his back against them because he didn't want to see his team cheating because they had weapons out. He got knocked out, and he tried to look for his red card to kick Sanji out of the game, but Nami had them. So, yeah,
it was funny.
That was funny. You don't see
Nami steal.
You don't see Nami steal quite often. I like it was Nami and Usopp basically trying to one up the cheaters and trying to, pull some cheating on their own. Let me ask, is there ever an actual rule book?
No.
All
mean, what in this that they whip out and say
in the manga, is there a rule book?
No, they just kind of say everything's free for all, really.
It's it's something where when they announce the games, it's kind of like just a widely accepted word of mouth just event. Because even Usopp, when he heard the name, he's like, "Oh my god, not a Davy Back Fight!" So even Usopp was aware of what the games were.
And there's like one more game after this, right?
There's one more game after this.
So
one main game.
So in the anime, there are 2 more games. They do a race on roller skates, which is pretty funny because they have Luffy sign up for the race, but Luffy doesn't know how to skate, so Zoro has to teach him how to skate. And then there's a dodgeball game, and it's funny because in the dodgeball game, Robin actually finds the rule book and she feeds them things that they can do that will not get them in trouble. And then whenever they say they're out, she's like, actually, according to this rule, they're good to go.
Actually, in the anime, in the manga, first, they lose the first game, so they lose Chopper.
Right.
Then they win the second game, they take him back. How did it go in the anime? So did they lose or got him back? Yeah, because that's widely different.
In the anime, Chopper is the first to go.
Yeah.
And then they lose, I think, the roller skating race because they go up against Foxy Pirate, who has the cat fruit cheetah model. And so it's basically a cheetah.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, it's technically the first cat model before, a character in Water 7. And so because Robin is doing all this rule book stuff, Foxy's like, I want her. I want Nico Robin. And she's like, you know, Robin's so nonchalant about everything. She's like, sure, I'll go.
Oh my God.
And so she puts on the mask and she's like, and then Chopper's like happy that they're together.
At least we suffer together.
But like at this point,
God.
her and Chopper go get like candy and food at the stands to where like, as cause they're Foxy Pirates, they get it for free. But Usopp walks up and they're like, that's 200 berry. He's like, what?
That's outrageous.
Yo, I need to watch the anime. Oh my God.
So yeah, some of those bits were really funny. So I think it's they won the dodgeball match, and then they get both of them back. I believe that's how. No. They lose the dodgeball match, and then so what's next? It's the boxing match, right?
The 1v1, right?
So the boxing match, Nami's like, why don't we put up? Foxy has like what, 500 crew members? She's like, the winner gets all the crew members.
Oh, Nami asked for that?
Oh, in the anime, Nami's like, we get all the crew members.
They did not want any of the Foxy Pirates.
Yeah.
No. So when it gets to the end, I'll tell you the anime ending, but she basically says all or nothing. You get the Jolly Roger, you get all the rest of the Straw Hat Pirates if you win. Or if we win, we get all your crew members.
Just the range that the anime was able to change things just seems wild.
And still fit within the continuity in a way. Like they didn't change anything to where it's like, well, now that can't happen anymore.
Right.
They still fit in order, you know? Because go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm guessing like there's no way this would fly now. There's no way you'd be able to change up like the Zhao arc like this much. You know what I mean? You'd be able to change like whole Cake Island. Like, I think either One Piece has become too powerful as a brand, Oda has become too powerful as a creator, where you'd be like, this just seems like this had to have fallen in a certain time period where like they could still kind of get crazy with it, because that seems really interesting.
But it's a silly arc, so it's like if you are going to play around, you're not going to play around with the more serious arcs.
Yeah,
you're going to play around with the kind of the wiggle room. This one had a lot of wiggle room.
Right. Yeah, it does. Because like she does, because technically, well, Nami doesn't raise the stakes in the manga, but Luffy does have a choice at the end. You know, do you want a crew member or do you want the Jolly Roger?
Well, before that, so, you know, before the 1v1, you know, they're like looking at Chopper, and I think Nami's like, what if we just took their captain? What if we took
that's right. We can end it. We can end it right.
He's like, we can end it. They won't have somebody to play in the 1v1. We could just take Foxy.
The Foxy Pirate lose it. They're like, no, that's cheating.
They said it's a peanut strategy. Peanut
strategy, and they start making fun of the Straw Hats for like doing like a cheesy way out. And not only that, like all the crew's like, we don't want Foxy.
And he got depressed again. Foxy got depressed. They don't want me.
Let me point out something else too. I don't remember the actual context, but so they won the groggy match, the ball game, right?
Right.
And Luffy had a chance to get Chopper back, and he chooses the horses on Foxy's team. And so, yes, Shelly the horse.
Wait, the horse?
The horse, right. Yeah, the horse.
Okay, that's the anime. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, in the anime, and Luffy chooses the horse, and Chopper gets sad again. And they're like, Luffy, what are you doing? He's like, I wanted to reunite that old man and that horse.
Interesting. So wait, did
okay. So what happens is, so they lose, right? They lose. They do like a hide and seek game, and that's the final game. Oh no. So the point is, Luffy does something stupid, and he says, let's do another game, and shoots the thing. And
so
he prolongs it.
from the win of the ball game, he takes back the horse instead of Chopper.
Yes.
They have to do another game to win to get back Chopper.
And then they lose, Robin.
Okay.
Would you say the anime is well paced? It sounds like all over the place.
No, I'm all over the place because obviously I was not paying the greatest of attention. But with that said, it was well paced. It was fine. It was funny.
How long was it? 10, 15
13 episodes. It's literally 13 episodes. Like
I might watch it.
It does not overstay. It does not
bad.
Overstay its welcome at all.
It sounds like a very different. I mean, it's not too different of an arc, but it kind of gives a different perspective. Like, what if they lost Robin and she became a Foxy Pirate for a couple minutes?
God.
Yeah, I like the pacing of the manga where it's just like lose Chopper, get Chopper back.
Yeah,
Right.
no, they just play it up for a lot of laughs, and it is funny what I paid attention to. So
and then what that brings us into the last game, right? It's a boxing match, and I was unaware of this until recently. So this is the debut of Afro Luffy in One Piece. I did not know what the dub of One Piece did with this scene. And
what did it do?
What did it do? Grandmaster, what did it do?
Well, okay, so it's like two parts. It's kind of it depends. So most of the fandom considers Usopp black, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's widely
Right.
accepted.
So it's like the walkout to the ring, and Usopp, I don't know if he did this in the manga. Does he give Luffy like a little speech?
He gives him a speech, but not what you're about to get to. Not
So
the way.
Usopp and Luffy take on Black Sense, and Usopp says, legend has it, Luffy, the power of the Afro is passed down from generation to generation. Some don't know if the Afro makes the man or the man makes the Afro, and like stupid stuff like that. And then like Luffy's like, yeah, got it, pops. Like, and it's clearly going for a Black Scent, or it's not heavy on the African American vernacular, but you can tell, especially I watched it in the Funimation dub. You can tell what they're going for. They're totally going for like this Muhammad Ali type of speech pattern, like Apollo Creed type, and it's a little jarring because you just didn't see it coming. But
right.
not to mention they're all white actors. Luffy's a white actor, Usopp's a white actor, so it's like, who are they picking fun at here? And you know exactly who. It's
I didn't know they did that.
I feel like the Afro kind of like on the surface, it's a little jarring. But Luffy does kind of look cool.
No, he does. He does. But when you took it there.
But you mentioned that. So in the manga, the SBS, as we keep shouting out in this episode, a couple chapters later, somebody sends in, and I have it pulled open. I'll read it. This is to Oda. Hello, I always enjoy reading your manga. And here's my question. Once in a while, Sanji talks about how Brother Soul did this or that. What kind of soul does he mean? Is it yummy? Average citizen? And then they show a picture of Afro Luffy to kind of, I don't know, draw a parallel between Brother Soul and Luffy.
Who's Brother Soul?
I don't know.
These
but
fans
Oda
are
decided to
weird
take
as
this
hell.
question and put it in the manga and answer it. And it says, it tastes like a pickled plum. As for what kind of soul, here's an example. And then he says in quotes, and I feel like you're supposed to read this with like a black vernacular. Hey, yo, aren't we awesome? Yo, bro, you're looking good. What the heck does that mean, you jerk? You're just as awesome. Oh yeah, we're number one in this town. Ha ha ha. It's that kind of soul. And
God damn it.
that's Oda's
2004
answer to that
was a
question.
different time. 2004 was a different time.
And I don't know. I just it was a different time. And
It was a different time.
you know,
Doesn't make it right.
We've come a long way. We've come a long way. Just like the story of One Piece, the journey has been long.
I don't even know if I have any comments to say about that. But Oda said that, and sounds like the anime did its thing.
You
I
think
don't know.
Funimation dub though would kind of have a
Oh no, the Funimation
Like-
dub had no excuse. Cause
Yeah.
they dubbed it way later.
right? You think they would
Like
have been
mid
a little more
2010s.
sensitive to the topic? They're like, okay, this is obviously a blatant like little
Maybe we should tread lightly. I don't know.
right. No, they said let's go in. Sunny straight as Uso. I was like,
You see,
I
this
got this, brother.
That's a
Like,
little bit different from what I read, because I read an unofficial translation and it said champs are black, or is it blacks or champs? Nonetheless, the strength found in black is still scientific mystery today.
oh,
So that's why.
he did
Wait.
mention a scientific thing. He was like,
Yeah, because he was
Scientists
saying
haven't
the
proven it
reason you wear the
otherwise.
afro is because you want to be black, because black are naturally strong.
Oh, you're saying oh my god.
You
Oh.
thought I was talking about
Now, see,
monkey?
that's-
Because that's what I thought. You're like, wait, what? Oda said this? That's why
No,
it was
champs,
so
as a
wild.
champion.
Okay, does
and
the
see,
afro
that's
make
now
the
even worse. That's now
Yeah.
even worse.
Okay, no, now it makes sense. Does the afro make the champ? Does the champ make the afro? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Goodness gracious.
God.
Goodness. Either
Horrible that you
way,
thought about
Afro.
champs.
Listen, either way, Afro Luffy looks cool. I like Afro Luffy, but of course there are some characters in the Straw Hat Gang that do not approve. Specifically Zoro. There's a running theory with Zoro as to why he doesn't approve. And perhaps at some point as his tallies build up, we'll maybe double back on this. But Zoro's one of the few crew members that's like, ugh, why does he have that on? Everyone else likes the afro.
Actually, Nami didn't love it.
I mean,
Well,
I
no,
didn't
Nami
take it as
questioned it.
Zoro
Nami
being
questioned it.
racist, though.
Yeah, is that a running theory? I was
That's
trying
a
to
running
connect.
theory.
I was
It's-
trying to connect the dots here.
It's a bunch of, I mean, it's kind of like a snowball effect. You take all the little things and put them
Think about like
together.
Mr. One.
Mr. One.
Mr. One, he
Uh-huh.
sliced that dude in half. Mr. One, in recent arcs, King, his battle against King.
I haven't seen
Pika?
King in color yet, but
Pika?
King is dark skin.
Dark
Pika's
skin.
also dark skin.
Pika's
Pika
also
is dark.
skin.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
Ah,
Yeah.
you see,
Zoro?
you see,
God
it's
damn it.
it's lining up. And and also in one of the SBS corners of Oda's greatest manga, there was a question one time when he asked Oda if the Straw Hats were in real life, what occupations would they have?
Oh no.
Zoro was a cop.
Oh, that's stupid. Okay, that's so
Zoro was a
dumb.
cop. Of all the occupations you could give your character.
Okay,
You see
maybe,
what-
like
it-
Zoro.
okay, maybe he did not know, because maybe cops have a different standard in Japan. So
It is 2004, Japanese police. Maybe it's a different style back then.
it's a different thing. They don't even carry guns. So
But I would also only say it would make sense that was his occupation before he joins like piracy, as a pirate hunter.
I mean,
You know.
they meant it in
You're
the
right,
sense
yeah.
like, they're not
He's
criminals in the
racist.
real world. They're just, what jobs would they have? I forgot the rest of them. It's just Zoro's was the funniest. I'm like, you're not helping this, Oda.
Oh my
man.
god.
But Afro Luffy, he's great. He's great. Everyone
Yes.
loves Afro Luffy, and it's just a straight up boxing match between Foxy the Silver Fox and Luffy on their ship. And it's funny because they have to first decide where they want to do the battle, and it's kind of like it wasn't like a spin the bot. It was something that they spun around, and wherever the
was a
thing
cannon.
landed on, it was a cannon. That's what it was.
yeah.
They spun the cannon around wherever the cannon landed on and fired at. That was the place they were gonna, fight on. They spin the cannon and it just locks in position
Yes.
towards the Foxy ship. And they're like, what the hell? That didn't even spin.
Yes, Usopp was like, "There's something weird about this kid," and nobody else questioned it, and they just move along as if it was normal.
They just accepted it, and it's a sound strategy from Foxy because he knows his ship better than Luffy, and he has a bunch of just silly traps and shenanigans going on with the ship, and he's utilizing his slow beam. Do you guys, knowing how Foxy utilized his slow beam in this battle, are you a fan of the slow fruit? Do you think it's like a potentially overpowered fruit, or is it kind of like one and done? This is probably the most we'll ever see of something like this.
I mean, in better hands, you could do a lot with the slow fruit. So, but you only got a taste, and it's in a goofy character, so I doubt you'll ever see the true potential of what it could really be capable of.
Well, it's interesting because it kind of like what is it? You slow down like the entity that you hit, and then you could do whatever you want to it. So like, you know, for Foxy, he's doing like a bunch of like barrage of punches on someone, and they're reacting slowly to it, but the force is building up, and after what, like 30 seconds, I think it just
30 seconds,
30 seconds,
boom, it lets loose, and you feel the full impact of what he just did to you. I mean, a Devil Fruit Awakening with a fruit like that, slowing down everything around you, that's OP. I don't know. That's
yeah, in better hands,
I could see him returning. I'm gonna say it now. I could see him returning.
In the final arc, I like it. Yeah.
I think in like a Paramount War final arc scenario where a bunch of, you know, revolutionaries, Navy admirals, they're like gigantic battle, Foxy shows up with like a bunch of pirates he's recruited over the years.
Funny enough, I was looking it up. He has returned in a filler in the New World.
Oh, does he have a new design?
I mean, I think it was relatively the same.
Ooh, I mean, I always like
filler.
time skip.
That's filler. That's
it
anime.
Is filler.
So.
It is filler, but I didn't even know he existed for, you know, post time skip at all. So maybe Oda gave some designs to say like, oh, the animators wanted to bring back Foxy, and they're like, are you gonna use him again? Can we bring him back for a filler? And he's like, no, you guys can use him. Here's a quick little, you know, slapdash post time skip costume. There, bam. There's Foxy for you. I actually want to see that. I like post time skip side by side drawings of the characters to see how far they came. But yeah, it's just a straight up boxing match. Luffy's getting pummeled because he doesn't know how to counter the slow fruit. And again, a theme that gets parroted later on in this grand saga of Water 7. It seems like Luffy's about to lose in a lot of instances because he's just getting blasted by Foxy, but he keeps getting up, and Foxy asked him, I remember it was the ending of volume 33, the last page. Foxy is basically wondering like, Straw Hat, why do you keep getting up, boy? And Luffy screams at the top of his lungs, I won't lose, and I won't lose a single member of my crew, even if it kills me. Ooh, and look what happens in Water 7. Ooh,
it all adds up.
It all.
And not only that,
up.
I love this part because he's like winning over the Foxy Pirates. Like they're
cheering for him. The audience.
They start cheering for him. Yeah.
Straw Hat's so motivational. Foxy's like, why are you cheering for him? I'm your captain. So I like that. So like moments like this is like, okay, Oda is clearly he's laying down some groundwork for potential themes that we're going to be tackling later. And the reason why I remember that scene a lot is because back when I collected these when I was like in middle school, this was the final volume I bought for the longest time. So I never read ahead after this part because I'm like,
a fool.
What happens? What happens after this? Does he win? And the panel after that shows Aokiji freezing Robin. So I was left spoiled on what happens in the next part. But yeah, what's it called? They start going around the ship. fighting each other. There's a room with like a mirror that Foxy gets into like this giant
The gorilla gun?
The gorilla
Yeah,
gun.
Okay.
It's basically a tank that it's like fire fists or whatever. It punches. It's a dumb tank. It's whatever. But it's cool because he like, reflects the slow beam off of the mirror that Luffy is sitting in front of, and it bounces around and all that stuff. I mentioned the mirror because the ultimate win that he gets from this fight is because from that fight with the mirror, below the ship, he has, what was it? A piece of it was stuck in his afro, I think.
Oh my gosh.
It falls out.
People with afros just get things stuck in their hair all the time.
Oh my God. I didn't even see it like that. Oh my goodness. Wow. Interesting. 2004, man. Yeah.
2004. What a time.
That was an era. So the glass falls out of his afro. He's like, oh, what's this? And Foxy does a slow beam. Luffy brings up the glass. It bounces off the glass, hits Foxy. What's he do? Gomu Gomu no flail. He does the flail gum attack. Knocks him out.
No, it's great because it doesn't. It just wails on him. And Foxy kind of moves to the left. And I think Luffy starts counting down.
Right.
And they just waiting for the slow to like
Usopp
stop.
starts counting with the crowd.
Yes.
Right. No, it's funny because the crew started counting, and then they told the crew, "Hey, start counting from this number." And the Foxy Pirates were like, "Why are we counting down from this number?" I don't know, but everyone's counting, so let's count. And they all start counting. They don't know that their boss is about to be flung into the ocean from that counter. And bam, timer reaches 0. Foxy goes a-flying, and that concludes it. Luffy wins the Davy Back Fight Arc. And he doesn't want any of the crew members, thank God. Well, no, actually, it's funny because Foxy, gets beaten and he tries to, one up Luffy by, he approaches him
over. Yes.
Yeah, he like pretends to shake his head. He's like, hey, put it there, fellow pirate. He just like, Luffy just tries to shake his hand, and Foxy grabs it. He tries to like fling him over his shoulder, but he just stretches.
Idiot, dude.
So dumb. But now he's like, all right, Straw Hat, just pick who you want. And it's funny because they've been wanting a shipwright, a carpenter. And I like the options that they laid out, because the announcer's like, who is Luffy gonna choose? Is he going to choose I don't know, Borges, the buff and tough ship carpenter, or Gina, the pretty maiden ship carpenter? And Sanji comes in, is like, Luffy, pick the maiden. Like, damn. He lays out reasonings as to why they need the maiden. Luffy says no to all of those. He says, give me your Jolly Roger, your pride and joy.
The flag, Grandmaster, the flag.
The flag. Do you hear that? He
takes down the flag.
Yes.
Very similar to what they do later on in this saga.
Yes, there's a lot of pride and symbolism with flags. Yes.
Yes.
There is a lot.
It all starts here.
And what's the replacement? he paints a new one for them, a dumb, ugly looking Foxy flag.
Oh,
that thing is gonna come
like
back.
The original flag, the original Jolly Roger that I think Luffy tried painting.
Yes, the trash one.
Yeah, the trash one.
The bad one.
He's not an artist.
He is not.
So in the anime, he gets all of Foxy's crew, but he's like, I don't want 500 crewmates. I don't like any of them. And so Zoro's like, well, Luffy, once they're part of your crew, they have to listen to whatever you say. And he's like, oh yeah. So like they're excited to join the Straw Hats.
The Foxy Pirates Arc?
Yes. And then he goes,
wow.
all right, y'all are no longer crew members.
Damn.
Oh my!
The
Oh wait,
free
so
brain
he
that they
does
were-
take them. He does take them.
He has to take them. He won.
Wow.
That was the bet.
Okay.
The free reign that these people were able to just tell whatever story they want.
They
just
could
using
not do
One
that
Piece.
today. They could not.
No,
do
just
that
using
today.
One Piece as like a baseline, saying like, all right, yeah, they're in battles. Like, we'll just have to take the whole crew. That's
You
that
know,
feels 2004.
The implication when I saw that, I was like, oh man, I didn't know he started the fleet all the way back here. You know,
the Straw Hat Fleet,
Oh my
the Straw Hat
God.
Alliance.
But
You know, oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but then when he said, all right, y'all are no longer part of the crew, I was like, oh, okay.
Well, in contrast to that, it's something that we didn't mention. Instead of the Foxy Pirates being excited to join the Straw Hats at any point, in the manga, they always think like each of the Foxy Pirates at the end of each game thinks they're so self-important that they're like, oh my God, he's gonna pick me.
Yes.
Oh, that
Please
was
don't
a funny
pick me.
gag. That
Don't
was a
look at
funny
him.
gag.
Don't look up into the eyes. He's gonna pick me. I don't want to leave.
They're looking at all these NPC characters like they're gonna pick me because I'm the handsomest one.
They did a good job with that scene. Like when they were picking Chopper and Robin to come back, it was like, oh God, oh no, I know they really want me. Like they did it really well because
They
it's like
did.
it's a moving shot and it just keeps going. And you know, they're like, oh my gosh, like they could have stopped it after the third guy, but they just keep going.
That's what it was like at least 5 or 6 of these people thinking that they were gonna get chosen. The Foxy games conclude. Foxy says, I'll see you again, Straw Hat, shaking his fist in the air as they sail away defeated. And probably the part that was the most interesting about this little spat is what's upcoming right now, which you know, they go back to Sherry and Tanjit, and Luffy gives them the Jolly Roger of the Foxy Pirates. That was Luffy's whole goal in doing this. He wanted to show this man, look, I remember you guys. This is why I did it, because they hurt you. They shot your horse for whatever reason. I don't know why they shot the horse at the end of the day. But here it is, the Jolly Roger of the Foxy Pirates. And then someone bumps into a very tall figure that is just...
Who's sleeping in front of the door.
Yes, just sleeping, just chilling there. And it's a force to be reckoned with. It is one of the 3 great admirals of the Navy.
One of the powerhouses.
The first one we meet, right?
The first one we meet. I think
of the admirals. Yes.
Of the admirals. I think before that we
only ever got a brief appearance from Sengoku in Jaya.
But he was the fleet admiral.
He's the fleet admiral, so we didn't
Right.
see you don't see any of the admirals until right now.
Okay, this is the first time, especially seeing one in person, AOKIJI.
Yes,
he's the first. And who's the first person to like piss their pants? Is Robin?
it's
It was
Robin,
Robin.
of course.
She falls over the ground and
She falls on
really
the ground.
shakes.
Shiver me timbers. She cannot stand the sight of this man, but he's not antagonistic at first. He's not a contrast to how we've seen the government and the Navy act whenever they see pirates or even the Straw Hats. Because whenever we see Smoker coming up against Luffy, it's like, Straw Hats, get him! And they try and capture them. AOKIJI's there. He's like, I heard Robin was in the area. I just wanted to see her.
Yep.
I wanted to see what was going on. He's not doing anything. And what's his style of justice? It's
lazy. Is it lazy justice?
That's what he said. I always associated lazy justice with one of the other admirals.
Yeah, lazy justice. Yeah.
What? Yes to AOKIJI or the other admiral?
No, it literally says lazy justice. That's his
For
thing.
AOKIJI.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is Akainu, who we'll learn about later, his is absolute justice. You know, justice is absolute. There's no gray area. It's absolute. What is Kizaru's justice.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah,
Because he's
no
lazy.
idea.
He's lazy in a way too. He's like, he kind of
He
just
seems the
slow.
dumbest.
He's not dumb. He's just
I know he's not dumb, but like
he to me he's
Oh,
lazy.
I
He's
got it.
lazy.
I looked it up. I looked
What
it
is
up.
it? What is
This
it?
isn't an official. I found something. It says unclear justice.
Oh
Unclear.
goodness.
that
It's
sounds
bizarre.
right.
That's insanity. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I don't really
Aokiji's
know.
lazy. Aokiji's lazy. He kind of just sleeps around, lays down. The dude is tall as hell. The dude is
Yes.
really, really tall.
Very fascinating here. I'm reading on the One Piece wiki that GrandMasterHoop swears by. Says it's more important than reading the manga.
It's pretty good.
That his justice was formerly burning justice, but then the events of Ohara happened, and he became, I guess, maybe he started shifting towards lazy justice, but like it used to be burning justice, and then it
Interesting.
changed after the events of Ohara.
I see.
Interesting.
That is
Interesting
very
stuff.
interesting.
Yeah, I
Burning
did not know
justice.
that. See, with this
'Cause, like,
Wikipedia's
there's
got
no
a
way
bunch.
There's no way he's rode lazy justice to the top of the food chain.
I feel from what we're
Right.
given, you know, his kind of thing is like a wait and see type of thing before he acts, you know, and that's kind of his whole shtick this whole time too. He's kind of like, I just came to see what's happening. And really that calls for him to act because
As well, he's helpful at first.
let me yeah, is there
very
like a starving group of people in the manga?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. So in the anime, they run into him, but he's like, oh, I'm not here to do anything. I just wanted to see. And they had like previously there's like a couple of episodes after the Davy Back fight that I skipped to AOKIJI, and they ran into like these people because like what you were saying about the islands and the tides. So
Right.
they were like stranded there, and so AOKIJI he helps them out because, you know, he's an admiral and he does ice age and freezes the ocean and allows them to walk to their island.
He doesn't do that for the one
He
ton.
yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah, but he
Tommy.
does it at the
Tommy.
end. Yeah.
Okay, so this is where this is how it differs. At the end of the Davy Back fight, Tangent runs into his son or his grandson.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And then there's a and again, I didn't watch these next couple of episodes because I knew it was straight filler. They run into this group of people who are starving. They feed them, but you know they're still stuck on the island. So they run into AOKIJI, and he freezes the ocean, and they take the food, and you know they thank the Straw Hats, and then they go walk.
So
And so
he doesn't freeze the ocean again after that, right? He just does it for that.
yeah, he does it for that, right?
Okay.
And they're all like, "Oh my gosh, his power!"
It's so powerful. Wow. So okay, in the manga, Tanjiro does not meet his grandson.
Yeah.
It's either his grandson or his son.
He doesn't meet anyone. He doesn't.
Okay.
Meet
Tanjin
anyone.
doesn't meet anybody. Tanjin's
Yeah.
the only person you meet on that.
And so the ice age where he freezes that ocean, he does it so that Tanjiro, instead of having to wait for the low tide to cross the landmass, because otherwise he would have to wait for 10 years, and he was
Right.
fine with that. AOKIJI freezes it, and he's like, hey, this patch of ice, it's gonna last for like, I think it was like a couple days or hour or weeks, whatever, long
Yeah.
enough for you to just make the trek straight to where your people are. You can go straight to them. Well, I wonder why the anime changed that. That's so
They thought they knew better than
'cause-
Oda.
Well, they might have just needed
Yeah,
filler.
They
you
thought they
know?
were better storytellers than Oda.
they read that in the
No.
manga. They're like, what the hell is this?
I think they just
This is
needed,
stupid.
I think they just needed filler, and also I think he's involved in some production of the anime. You know, like he must give us approval on this stuff, and it was as long as AOKIJI.
I don't know back then, you know, like when you're coming up as a manga artist, they're just like, hey, we need those pages.
I mean, One Piece was pretty
Well-
hot though.
Well, around this time, it was during that era where like every hit anime had like a hit anime movie that would like come out. And I figured this with any anime movie back in that time period, but Oda kind of like confirmed it, where someone asked him in a question corner. These question corners are really, really good. Someone asked him, hey, do you, for these movies that are like clearly not part of the One Piece timeline, do you like come up with these devil fruit powers, or like how does the anime staff know what devil fruit powers to use if you're gonna use them? Like they don't know what if they make a devil fruit power that stops time? Like like are you gonna do that? So apparently they actually send him notes, like they have a rough draft of what they're gonna do, and they're like, hey, this draft, this devil fruit right here, it's gonna be this. Is this okay to use? Are you gonna use this at some point? And Oda either gives them the thumbs up or the thumbs down to not use that devil fruit.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying he must have some.
I think he has some say. I think
Right.
he has more say and more power now. Because I think, he's writing the One Piece video game that's coming out. I think he like wrote the story for it. Maybe probably not.
Oh, for the RPG? The RPG one?
Yeah. I think he like wrote the story. He's getting the story by credits. I'm sure.
Well, he's done it before, right? Wasn't there like a One Piece Red game for like the Wii U?
Maybe. I think there was one kind of like open world.
Oh no, not that one. I don't think he wrote World Seeker. No.
Oh yeah, World Seeker.
He didn't write that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but I know it just feels like this wouldn't happen again. It doesn't feel like, even if it's like a silly, funny arc, like no animators coming through being like, you know what, Oda story is only so. I can make this better.
I know better than him. Who does he?
You know what? This needs 2 more rounds, and Tanjin needs to meet his grandson.
Oh my god!
It's absolutely insanity.
It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. He meets his grandson. All that matters is they meet AOKIJI. You know, that's all that matters.
This is sacred text. This is sacred text.
I get it.
You don't mess with the sacred text.
You don't touch
I get it.
Leave it alone. But either way, I mean, it's a great showcase of his powers to show the bridge and gap between the Straw Hats and just a single admiral. And then at that point, once whoever it is, whether it's the starving tribe or Tanjik crossing the Ice Age thing, this is the point where AOKIJI basically changes his mind and he's like, yeah, I don't know. I think you guys should die right here now. He just changes his mind. He's like, no,
for no reason.
I'm gonna have to kill you guys. I started to think about it. Yeah, you guys have to end right here.
Let me ask too. Does he mention Garp?
Yes,
yeah, he does mention the grandfather.
Okay,
he does.
Yeah, and Luffy starts sweating.
Yes, Luffy starts freaking the fuck out.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like,
none of the crew knows, right?
No, this is the first mention of Garp.
Yeah, they didn't know.
He doesn't want it to come out.
Not that he just wanted to come out. He's afraid of Garp.
Right. Cause he hears the grandpa. He's like, oh my God, grandpa. And he's afraid of him and everyone's confused, but no one has a second to take that in because AOKIJI's on the offensive at that point. And they just get demolished, man. What is it? He freezes Robin first completely.
Yes.
What is it? Ice time freezes.
Honestly, his powers are so cool.
But Robin tries to clutch him, and he
breaks.
Shatters.
Oh, he breaks.
Yes. Usopp thought he died. She was like, "Holy shit, he died!" No,
we beat an admiral. Look how easy that was. Clutcher tries to break his back. No, nothing. Which makes you wonder, at this point in the series, had Robin learned hockey, would that have been a W? That might have been the W.
Possibly.
If that was hockey infused, she would have actually broken AOKIJI's back.
Leave him crippled? Come on. No, we're not going to do that.
It puts things into perspective. But obviously, hockey's not a thing yet.
Even if it was, we've seen Zoro get slashed and the pillar behind him get pulverized, yet he's still standing. I'm sure this man would have been okay.
What? A spine being broken? I don't know.
Batman get his spine broken.
They come out swinging still after a bunch of devastating, crippling moves, but who's paying attention to all that? He freezes part of Zoro's arm, Sanji's leg,
right?
Luffy's forearm, and then they're like, "No, we cannot," because Chopper, Usopp, and Nami are like, "Absolutely not. We don't win."
They're terrified.
Yeah,
they're like, "What the hell? Our heavy hitters are immobilized," and for one of the few times in the series, Luffy tells them to run.
Yeah,
he's like, "Y'all better leave," because I think even Luffy knows himself. I'm gonna fight this guy, but I don't think I'm gonna win.
Well, he challenges them to a one-on-one.
He's still right
to allow everybody to run.
Yeah,
challenge me one-on-one between you and me, and he accepts, and then Luffy loses pretty handedly. And then Aokiji's just kind of standing there, being like, "Oh, you got me. I guess I did accept between you and me one-on-one. So
if I kill
I guess I can't touch the rest of the crew."
Right.
And it's this like weird kind of like, it's this kind of weird thing where he just kind of accepts it. It's like, all right, guess I'm done here. I was going to take everybody out.
It's honorable in a sense, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't think any other admiral put Akainu in that situation. He doesn't stop for nothing.
Oh yeah,
everybody dies.
Justice is absolute. There's no gray area.
Yeah, exactly.
1v1, so what? Your friends are dying. Let's go.
Everybody
oh my god.
Oh man.
So yeah, like Aokiji honors his I guess his promise to Luffy for the 1v1, and he just kind of leaves. He just leaves at that point.
He's on his bike.
On his bike. I like the way he traverses. That is cool.
But
he just
it is.
The bike is just, it forms ice pathways as he's riding the bike. He says hello to the dolphins as they come out the water.
But that's the thing. It's I don't know if you call that great storytelling or just great characterization. He's lazy. He's unassuming. He's, you first meet him, he's sleeping, and now he's off away on a bicycle. And yet he's the most powerful person they've come across thus far.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It is.
It's gotta be. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Zoro Zoro could not do anything with this character. He could not. And Luffy lost easily. Hardly any effort. And again, this is going into... Oh, wait, go ahead, Toasty.
I'll say, don't forget that the only reason he didn't kill Luffy when he froze him was because of Smoker.
Well, he says, out of respect for Smoker, Garp, and I think he thanked him for taking out Crocodile.
Yeah,
too.
he did. Because I'm guessing you watched that in the anime, they added Guard, but in the version I read, they said Crocodile, and then he said, never mind, Smoker's message is too stupid. So Smoker probably sent out a message saying, yo, don't kill him. He helped us with Crocodile. Because Smoker was in the cage with them, so he must have told the upper admirals what happened.
Yes.
Wait, was that the message that Smoker had for...
Well, even if he didn't tell everybody...
We don't know Smoker's message, do we?
No, but we do, foreshadow. We do learn through this and in Punk Hazard, there is a personal relationship between Aokiji and Smoker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So,
he basically said, thank you for saving Smoker.
Right. Okay. So thanks for saving Smoker. And then also you took care of Crocodile. So that was a W for the government. We're even now. I'm not going to kill you. But like, I feel like, I don't know. Cause like Aokiji's such a different person now in the story, like where we're at. It's really hard to imagine that he was going to go out of his way to kill Luffy. But at the same time, he was going to kill Robin right then and there when he froze her. He tried to he was like, oh yeah, don't worry. She's not dead, but like if I break her like this, and he tries to hit her, and I think Luffy comes in with the save.
Usopp. Oh no, Luffy grabs
Luffy grabs her. And I'm like, if Luffy didn't do that, he was gonna break her. So I don't know. So yeah, AOKIJI is an interesting player in the mix of all this, but he leaves. He kind of just goes off, does his own thing, and it lays the groundwork for what we're gonna get into with Water 7. He mentioned
he does know that that would be their next destination. He does know that.
The city of
and
water.
He knows they're close to Navy headquarters.
He knows
Yes.
right, for Enies Lobby. And also he gave them a warning telling them, this girl that's with you, be careful with her because she is not to be trusted. And there's that aura of like mystery where it's like, ooh, do we really know Robin?
It was kind of like they already had a sense that she was bad because she was with Baroque Works, but they thought that was it. They thought they couldn't trust her because of that incident. But here he says she's had a bounty on her since she was 8 years old.
And every team
79 million.
And
What's
every
so
team that
cool,
she joined
though,
also lost. They all got destroyed. That was the big thing.
What's so cool is none of them care. None of them
did
care.
It. They're like, all right.
Nah.
And
They keep hearing, we'll get more into this in the next arc, but they keep hearing this, and for the most part, there's never any follow-up questions. It's like, hey, Robin, what is your past? Like, what are they talking about? It's just straight.
I like that. I like that they don't dig into it because it's like, you tell us whenever you want to.
Honestly, I think they're just too stupid to remember.
No,
I don't know.
I don't think
Not
it's
smart
that.
enough.
I think they just take what they've done together as enough. Because when you think about it,
I think they're like,
because even Zoro's the one. He was the first one to not trust her at all.
He really never trusted her. So
exactly. So you would think someone like him. Zoro's very observant. Zoro's a very observant person. He doesn't say a lot, but like you can tell when the man is thinking. Like he doesn't say a single word, but there's a lot going on in that head. And I feel like if they had an opportune moment of peace and quiet, he probably would have asked Robin, what's the deal with your past? But he didn't. Because
that's the thing. They only learn about the past either when the character themselves bring it up or the situation calls for it,
Right.
Like, and that's kind of just the trusting nature of the crew.
Well, they're like, we travel with her to Skypia, like we've seen her in action. Like, they just trust her and she's part of the crew. And I think that's enough for them.
Yeah.
Kind of like, their entire journey together. We get to see
just also too is like,
bit, but
it's like AOKIJI is the enemy. Why should they trust the enemy?
That's right. He's the Navy.
He's the Navy.
Yeah,
but Luffy did say he was the good guy, so.
Well,
oh no, there was a joke with that.
In the anime instance, they're screaming because he's here, but the people are not freaking out. He's like, "Why aren't you freaking out?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I guess pirates are most of the time bad guys."
That was in the manga too, but instead of like the people, it was just Tanjit, and like, it's funny because he tells Tanjit like, run away. He's part of the Navy, and Tanjit just has this blank expression, like he's not saying anything. And he's like, but doesn't that mean he's the good guy? Luffy's like, oh, you're right. This arc was just silly. It was silly. But yeah, like other than that, AOKIJI leaves. They kind of just unthaw everyone that got frozen in that fight. No one suffered any permanent damage from frostbite.
Chopper's going through it as he like dethaws them. He's like he's relaying the information to the crew, like bawling his eyes out, being like their hearts are beating, but like it's been really rough, It's like I don't know.
He's never thawed anybody. No one's ever been completely frozen, he said. So he was super scared the whole time.
Yeah. But you get to see his skills because they do come back. And so you get to see his role within the crew. Good stuff. Good doctor.
And Oda uses, I feel, actual medical procedures throughout when it comes to Chopper. Because what Chopper's saying, it's like, that sounds accurate.
Yeah, don't use outside heat. She needs her internal heat to talk.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Right. Oda does research when like he mentions any type of lingo with anything. Like whether it's like medicine or plant life or even distilling like water. He looked up how to distill water to make it clean in Skypiea. I don't know if you guys remember that scene where like Luffy is like staring at like a boiling pot of water as it's like it was in Skypiea when they were all like chilling in the forest. And how do you call it? A reader asked Oda, is like, what was going on there? You know, what was Luffy staring at? And Oda literally did a diagram of a drawing saying this is how they were purifying the water so that they could drink it, essentially.
That's pretty cool.
The guy, goat is the goat. Goat
I
is the
appreciate
goat.
attention to detail.
Yeah.
It's heavy. And that's pretty much it with Foxy Pirates, the Davy Back Fight, whatever you want to call it. It just ends on a pretty good ending, I think, with AOKIJI and the reveal of seeing an admiral. You get name dropped with Akainu and Kizaru. They mentioned their names. And off to Water 7 after that. Is there? Do you guys have any other like final says on the Foxy Pirate Arc? Grandmaster, this was your first watch, and now that you deep dived with us, do you have a different take on Foxy Pirates? Or are
it's still just played for laughs. I think the most important takeaway is the AOKIJI incident, and but like I said too, when you don't have, you know, the beam coming out of the sky, gravitas of an arc, and it's a smaller arc like this, you get more time with the characters to kind of let them interact with one another and develop their relationships and whatnot. So that's probably the biggest takeaway you can get from this. So if you missed it, I think you'll be okay.
Here's the thing.
You're
though.
encouraging skipping.
I'm
it.
not encouraging it. I said if you missed it. I said if you
Interesting.
missed it.
I'm
That is
hearing
what I
skip.
I feel like you missed this arc, Grandmaster.
Sure. Yeah, I
The
didn't skip
whole-
it.
The whole point of the arc are the jokes. It's
Yeah.
coming in between this gigantic saga of the crew going up into the sky and this massive, gigantic saga in which the crew is declaring war on a certain faction within the world of One Piece. It's like this beautiful breather that comes in between these massive moments in the storyline. And it's the most important part isn't AOKIJI coming at the end. It's the jokes. It's the moment of fresh air, the moment to breathe and relax and just joke around with the crew. I think over time, I think it's always had that like, oh, it's a skippable. But the more I'm like One Piece keeps going on, I think it has a special place in One Piece. I think it's like it has this like very unique kind of slot within the story where it just got to be like a little bit of a breather and a little bit of a fun time with some of the easiest, best gags within the whole story. So, not skippable. Get your fresh air.
I just like to point out, I never called it skippable. I just said if you missed it, skipping has intention behind it. I did not say to skip it.
So you agree it's 10 out of 10? Yes?
No, you don't think it's a 10 out of 10.
For gags, yes, it's a 10 out of 10. We were cracking up the whole time.
Number one gags.
Sure, it's funny. Sure. You don't need to put a rating on it. It is funny.
I hope Oda never has to hear your thoughts on this. At all.
If you want to talk about gags, the Straw Hat docking system is the funniest gag, and I stand by that.
The Straw Hat docking system?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, then
No.
oh well.
What do you mean? Explain for the audience.
Did you make up a word? Like we don't. Our
Thriller
listeners
bark.
probably want to know.
Thriller bark. The Straw Hat docking system.
I guess
You're just gonna leave the audience hanging like that?
They know what I'm talking about. True fans know what the Straw Hat docking system
You
is.
just listen
from Thriller
to
Bark.
You just listen to Admiral HooperTV's dissertation on this arc, and you're calling him not a fan?
I'm sorry. Well, you should
Oh,
know what that is.
I gave a dissertation on the importance of long land, and you're just like the docking system.
He's
Thriller
talking
Bark.
about gags. Dr. Jace is
Look
talking
it up.
about gags. I think the Straw Hat docking
Google
system
it.
is the best gag. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll be reminded come Thriller Bar.
This is just upsetting.
You know, I'm gonna take a note of that.
Straw
Toasty
Hat
will
docking.
remember. Toasty will remember.
I will.
I know you're not talking about the thing where they like stand on top of each other to like mech up. You gotta be kidding me. Oh my god. You're disgusting. Absolutely ridiculous. Hell no.
Hell.
Foxy reigns supreme. That gag is not as good.
That gag is the funniest gag.
Oh goodness.
Robin, come join Docking 5.
No. Goodness.
Hilarious.
Oh boy. So there you have it, folks. There's the Yonkō Tables deep dive on the Foxy Pirates Davy Back Arc. Or if you want to be a square, you could call it Long Ring, Long Land Arc. But let's be honest, you're not calling it that. But you guys know what we were here to talk about. Let us know what you all think in the comments below, wherever you're listening to us on, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at the Yonkō Table. And if you want to join the discourse, hop in on the Discord and tell us why GrandMasterHoop's say on the docking station is incorrect and why Foxy Pirates is a funnier arc. But with that, everyone, next week is Water 7, just Water 7, and we'll lay down the groundwork for next week. We'll deep dive exactly what we'll be covering, but next week is Water 7. Tune in for possibly, honestly, one of the best arcs in One Piece, but we'll save that for another time. With that, everyone, I'm your Yonkō host, DrJaceAttorney, fellow Yonkō Grandmaster Hoop, Supernova Toasty, and Admiral HooperTV. Signing off. Take care.